We're out here at Orlando Speed World for day one of Sick Week 2024. By we are out here, I mean me, by myself. Got my wristband on. Let's see what's good out here. It's pretty quiet yet, which is good for recording video. Hopefully you can hear me over somebody who started their engine. It's Sunday here on Sick Week. This is day 0, I guess. Today is comprised of tech inspections for all entrants. And starting at 2 p.m., weather provided, racers will be allowed to start testing and tuning. The real racing starts tomorrow on Monday here at Orlando Speed World. And then from there, the cars will head to, I don't know, I gotta look it up. This is a week-long event where on Monday, tomorrow, cars will drag race here and then drive over the road under their own power to the next drag strip, where they will again drag race and repeat throughout the whole week. And ultimately on Friday, they'll be back here to drag race again. And depending on the class, the rules are more or less like the fastest car wins. There are penalties and such, and in certain classes, you're targeting a speed not necessarily being the fastest. There's some nuance to it, but overall, that's the gist of how this event works. It's called the Drag and Drive event. It's a lot of fun, and it's very difficult. But these are some of the fastest street cars out here that'll be driving, and let's go take a look at them. Look at this thing. All these cars are waiting to get tech inspected. So you've got to carry all of your tools and your spare parts and your crew with you in your car for this event. And a lot of these cars have trailers to carry spare parts and equipment, stuff like that. But I just found my favorite trailer behind this truck. It's like a little boat to haul stuff. I love it. This thing's rad. I almost just walked past this, and then bam, and I was like, good lord, that's a lot of engine. I don't even know if you guys can tell, but that is a gigantic compressor. About to get loud. So that's it for me on the first day of Sick Week 2024. Want to head out. Everybody is making passes down the track now, but I'm gonna stop recording video because it probably gets very repetitive for you guys, and I'm also getting hungry, so I want to go get some dinner. And I think they're gonna be running well into the night, and I don't really feel like driving an hour home after it's already like well dark out. So I'm gonna head out of here. Hope you enjoyed day 0, day 1, first day of Sick Week. So that's it for now, but we'll be back here tomorrow for the first day of competition for Sick Week. Today is just tech inspections and tuning while they can. All the cars are lined up here ready to make some test passes, but none of these ones actually count. So I'm a little bit late. Racing's already started, but it's day 1 of Sick Week, and we gotta hurry over to the track, get our wristband, because I haven't got one yet, and see what's going on, because people are already running 7-second quarter miles out there. I can see the board from here, and it's getting rowdy. So let's go check it out. We'll say this, today is a completely different day than yesterday. I don't really know how to put my finger on it exactly, but the energy in the pits is completely different today. You can just tell everybody is thrashing to get stuff fixed, repaired, improved, whatever. Every single hood is open. Everybody is looking at parts on their cars, under their cars, what have you. There is no sitting around, hanging out, chilling, because everybody is either trying to make a pass or get out of here and go to the next track. It's absolutely wild out here today. Sometimes they have to close the track down because it's got fluid on it. It's happening a lot today. I think this is like the fifth time in like an hour or so. That's pretty typical for a drag and drive because these cars have to be built to go fast, but they also have to be built to drive 1,000 miles over the road. So there's like a fine line between both that everybody's trying to walk. And a lot of times people will have a street set up and a track set up, and they got to swap parts when they get to the racetrack. So whenever you're doing stuff like that, things are bound to get missed. Sometimes things come apart, fluids come out. They try to keep the fluids in, but you know, this is how it goes. Also, something is burning over there in the distance. It's not at the track, and no one seems to know what it is. So you're gonna see that in the video, but yeah, I don't know. Well, once again, the track is shut down, which is a little bit annoying, but it's good for video because I can talk and you can hear me because there's not a bunch of very loud cars flying by. Except that guy. Literally right when I turned the camera on. So yesterday I talked to a bunch of people as I was kind of wandering around the pits. Today, not so much because it seems like everybody's pretty busy trying to get their stuff back together or make it faster. I kind of have an affinity for like the weird stuff. There are a lot of cars here that have turbo V8s. Most of them are LS engines. And I kind of feel like, well, for one, I've had one before, several years ago. It's kind of like you've seen one, you've seen them all sort of thing. Some really cool looking hardware and some neat looking builds, but it kind of gets repetitive. So I talked to a guy who had a Ford Festiva with a 4G 6.3 out of a Eagles Halon for probably like a half an hour. Had the full all-wheel drive set up, and then I had the pleasure of watching him go down the track, and he ran like a 20-second quarter mile. But it was still awesome. I tried to learn as much about the event as I could while I was wandering around talking to people, and I learned that there is a thing called Sick Ward, which is part of this event, but it's entirely separate from the racing. It's basically a traveling car show where there's prizes awarded for best in show, things like that. I don't know what all the categories are, but the cars all go to all of the stops. They just don't race at each track. So that's kind of neat. I didn't know that that was a thing. I'd seen the stickers, didn't know what it meant. I talked to the Boosted Boys for a while. You guys have probably heard of them if you're watching this channel. If you haven't, they got a pretty cool channel. A lot of their stuff's Honda content. It's mostly racing. But I had a bunch of questions for them about a Tesla swapped Honda Odyssey minivan that they recently made, and they've entered in this event. So it's cool to chat with them for a while. I can put a link for their channel here if you guys want to go check it out and you haven't heard of them before. If you're watching my videos and you've never heard of Boosted Boys, I feel like that's weird, but let me know in the comments. It wasn't until I got home that Mandy reminded me I had one very important question that I wanted to ask them, and I completely forgot. So I'm trying to track them down again today, and it's been a challenge because everybody's all over the place, and they might even be gone at this point. I don't know, because once you've got a time that you're happy with, like a time slip, you hand it in at the tower and then you head out and go to Bradenton. And I guess you don't have to go to Bradenton today, but it seems like most people probably are so that they can be at the track first thing in the morning. So yeah, I've been walking around a bunch, but my legs are getting tired. People are getting ready to head out. I guess the route for Sick Week goes right here out of the entrance to Orlando Speed World, but I'm going left. Good luck, everyone. All right, so I missed the middle of sick week because I was not sick and I had a life to live, but I'm back here at Orlando Speed World for the 5th and final day of sick week festivities. Just making my way over to the track over here. It seems like there's a lot of spectators anyways. The parking lot over here is very full today, so we're gonna see what's good today. And I'm gonna stick around for the finals so that we can see what actually happened. When you're spectating, it's hard to tell who's in what standing, and it's wildly variable over the course of the week because the winner could blow up on their way here today and be out of the race. Taking a little break from the track, I had to come out here and reheat some leftovers because I was getting pretty hungry. I talked to Jenny for a little while. She's the event organizer here for Sick the Mag and the Sick Week event. I talked to her about the registration process because I would love to do this event next year with the wagon EV conversion thing that I'm working on. By working on, I mean I haven't even started it yet. She told me there's an expression of interest form that comes out in June, I believe. And if you fill that out, then you get a heads up before actual registration goes live, whereas the general public gets no notice. So you're registering with everybody, but you have an hour to prepare yourself before the registration happens. She said it sells out in about 4 minutes. There are 350 cars. However, about 100 to 150 of them are invitations. So they take the fastest 100 cars and the top 100 cars, which has some overlap, from the previous year's event, and those people get invited to come back. But the rest is open to the public, which would be like 200 slots. So I don't know how many people are trying to get registered, but you're competing with a lot of people, and there are only 200 slots available. So once registration goes live, it's a race. Jenny also told me that if you don't get registered, to go on the wait list, because a lot of people end up dropping out, even as late as the day before the event starts, because, as you guys saw, everybody's building their cars on tech inspection day. So if they realize they can't get it together with the parts that they have on hand, then they can drop out and a waitlist slot can become available like day of. So that's my plan. I'm going to try and register in June, and that's going to motivate me to get this crazy EV conversion done, hopefully in time. Hopefully a year is enough time to build a car. I've never done an EV swap before. This might be a terrible idea. It's probably fine.